And nobody's at the ready to take him out, and he just starts stabbing 1, 2 down, and 3, and 4. What's going on, everybody? If that clip didn't give it away, you are in for a treat today. Money Shot here with another God's Eye for you from a public War of Rights match. War of Rights, of course, going to be 300 player count, first person military roleplay combat sim, ticket style play, buffs for staying in line, following the orders of your officers as you would in 1862. Pretty steep penalties for your team if you're out trying to win the war on your own. Proud today to bring you the infamous Nicodemus Hill. If you are familiar with Nicodemus Hill, you are aware I'm bringing you quite the artillery match. And actually today we have full batteries on both sides of the field. We're going to see quite the duel going on between the big guns, with the infantry attempting to maneuver around and in between the shots. Not going to say too much today. I am just going to let this one unfold. But first, if you haven't yet and you are enjoying these, please down below give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a comment, let me know how I'm doing, and share this if you got any friends. And I will check in with you just before the map. Hope you enjoy. What's going on, everybody? A little bit of snow and some frost overlooking what many of you know infamously Nicodemus Hill. As we just get underway, 44 still on the clock. CSA beginning their pull back up the hill on the stone wall. And this battery starts to put itself together. If you know this map, of course you know that battery is the bane of everyone else's existence. And Union mustering up and getting some plans formed to try to get somewhere in the face of that hilltop. Right over there.
We're taking shots.
You need to fill that regiment up. Everybody respawn and go to Regiment A, Minnesota.
And CSA making some good shots, long range from their rifles here on the Stonewall, getting a couple of kills. And Union makes the first shot on this inevitable artillery duel that will then take place for the rest of the match. Another Union shell falling there, but Confederates are really already dialed in on both Union batteries, and you see that shell landing right, both of them landing right in the midst of the battery itself. And Union's infantry now getting ready to make a move for the wood line and the snake fence. They intend to drop some tickets here from the CSA line. But they
Here you boys are, okay.
do realize that they are moving through low ground in front of cannons
I can't see.
onto a strongly defended infantry position. So battery just rolling a barrage now. on all targets. They just continue to rain on the main Union battery in particular. And there's another another red mist cloud. Another red mist cloud. And shells are now becoming a barrage. Union did not decide to push into the trees. They're taking a long range volley duel through the forest onto a stone wall, but perhaps it is just effective enough to keep them suppressed. And this battery is looking like it's seen a couple of better days, as you have cannons now scattered from the sheer volume of shells coming in. And both batteries really taking some hits. Their shells are not landing off target though, as they get chances to return fire, but this battery is just singing so in tune right now that nobody can move. Nobody can move. Decent numbers on this Union battery if they could really get things together and working in sync. They could make themselves known and start to suppress this. But with the amount of time that they're given in between this battery's rest is just not enough. They're not able to get anything really in sync. They do get a decent shot there, really tapping someone square on the nose. A couple of CSA cannons have repositioned themselves way over here to look down at the other battery, the other Union battery, a little bit of a different angle. Who also has decent numbers going on for their crewmen. But I think the sheer suppression from each of these barrages, there's like 8, 9 guns going off up there, is just hindering every attempt to get something synced up. You can see there's another 2 battery members getting hit right there, 3 maybe, and one of them actually is one of them blew up. And the other thing that they don't have going for them is they're not trying to hit too much counter battery. They're really firing on infantry themselves.
I want to be aggressive.
But their shots have to go through the woods, through a fence and rocks and a stone wall. And you see them not even coming close right there. Ricochet off into the woods somewhere. And I think they would be better off trying to at least suppress this hilltop fortress that the CSA has put together here. Every single cannon except for one? Where are you going? Nope. Every single cannon right now. Maybe one. Maybe one's not being utilized. But they are making it miserable for this Union team, who cannot even get out of their spawn. CSA really able to now. They're pushing their boys way up into the pasture, and they're going to start to skirmish out on the rocks way down here. This is going to really prevent the Union from making any sort of push to maneuver around the point of contention now. They're really relying on the top of the hill here to keep them safe. They're gonna immediately start taking fire from these the battery here, and of course the battery right here. And you see them already beginning to turn cannons. And CSA's battery really needs to start putting some hate down before Union opens up. Otherwise, they're gonna see a lot of hurt. And you see the first round coming square into those rocks. Super lucky. Super lucky. They take another one from a different angle and lose at least one man there. CSA battery falling a little short there, and Union answers with a couple of rounds smack into those skirmishing rocks. You do see one cloud of pink mist going up, and they immediately shift. Little bit of counter battery going on there. They try to hammer the top of the hill just a little bit. The CSA team is now skirmished out in the open on the top of the hill.
They're coming. They're getting closer.
There's not enough boys here though. And they all let loose one round and start to run immediately. And the Union now pushes right through the pasture. CSA battery starts to really look for them. They do hit the flag bearer. They need to get that flag back up and out of this pasture. CSA really pouring it into this open ground, and Union is taking a beating for making this move.
Right, let's go. Let's engage. Yeah.
CSA now jubilant in their ability to have almost halved that Union regiment between rifle fire and the number of cannons that dropped on them. And now they reform, they get reinforced by another unit, and they really are going to trap that Union team in there. Union trying to really get to the barn before the cannons find them, so that their flags can start bringing their boys back in. And CSA will move to try to counter that and dig them back up and out of there, should they try to root in this lean-to and this rocky ramp here. Battery still on the hunt for the top of the hill. See what looked like a pretty decent shot there, and we see a a bit of jelly going on right now from a successful hit there. And you see that smoke trail as that shell ricochets and comes way up. Explodes harmlessly, well back and over their heads. Same one with that. They need to adjust their fuses so that those cannons or those shells are exploding as they come up and over the top of them.
I'm so sorry, Amir.
That was good.
And CSA is now going to be charging into that Union line back here behind the
What's up, you little fag?
behind the barn. They pull into the barn though, and they don't know. They didn't realize they were behind the barn, and it may cost them. They all probably used up their shots on the inside, and Union is gonna largely. No, they're not. They do end up going down. There's just enough gray boys to make that happen, and Union will reset and face the cannons again.
Yeah, boy, I want to fucking murder him sometimes, but yes.
And you see those shots landing way out there.
Well, you shouldn't have came up with that.
And Union Battery just taking a beating.
Right in front of it. That's all enemy fire.
Good hits there by the other Union Battery on the top of the hill. You see a decent cloud going up from that one. Possibly have hit a cannon caisson and set off whatever was inside it. And now the Union Battery is really starting to answer these barrages. See shells exploding way too early from that cannon. And CSA will now pull back up to their position of favorite here up on the stone wall. And they will reset to, again, counter anything the Union does. And they will again come back around here and try to come through the woods. Or they will move in that direction. They come up over the fence, so it would appear that's what they're going to do. All together as well, no other units have forked off, so they do a plan to probably put up a decent assault. And you see a reinforcement company coming up out of the barn area there.
I don't know.
But it actually might end up being a little bit of a spoiling unit for this assault, as they're going to be able to put a angle fire up onto this unit as it moves. Cannons finding home as presents fall through the pasture here. And an ugly fight here in the midst of these trees. And CSA is actually they get reinforced and just when they needed to, because they did lose that, and you see the last two of them going down right there. Reinforcements coming in and finishing off though what they couldn't do what they started, and Union will have to pull back. Cannon's finding home again for CSA. Although that may have been friendly fire. I don't think they realize anymore that there is no Union down here. Union slipping to taking losses, and they again are going to push for the wood line. No, they're just going to regroup behind the barn.
No, don't shoot him, bro.
We're gonna form up with the
Very
1st
bad
Minnesota
on
Company A.
Reload! Reload!
And when someone can someone take the flag, please? We need a flag.
Reload!
Alright, so what's our plan, Subsap?
I'm probably gonna have to shoot from here for like 5 minutes.
I can bring my company a bit to the right to those rocks and see if we can get some firing from both angles.
Are you allowing sharpshooters on the front
I would
line?
like to do that, but
Alright, yeah, I'll
stupid
give
ass
my...
artillery.
I
Hey, if they
volunteer
start
for
hitting us...
Little bit of planning you can hear there.
That makes me so happy. Alright, unfixed bayonets, We're gonna go back to Molly.
bayonets.
And CSA planning to just sit here comfortably and pour volleys out. And a flag bearer able to sneak out there under the cannon's watchful eye and grab that flag, bring it back in. Good job there on him. Still continues to be quite the barrage coming off of the top of this hill. Every cannon still in use. You would like to see perhaps the officer condense these all to two-man gun crews and pour fire out a little bit faster, but sheer numbers that they've got going for them right now is definitely working. And Union Battery, while it is able to be effective, they have struggled for the most part to assist the infantry in their maneuvers. And now CSA has moved up and will spoil anything coming out of the back of this barn, and you can see.
Into the fence! Pull them into the fence!
And they pull back immediately. There's still quite a bit of boys in blue up there, despite the fact that they are pushed away back to their spawn.
Sorry.
And you can see that cannon still firing pretty short. Two of them here.
We went forward a little bit.
And most of these boys have switched to switch to firing on that infantry line. Probably for the best, as it remains relatively unchallenged. Union now shifted to the top of this fence here to begin challenging them. They are, it looks like they are going to get, no, CSA is going to come down here and take point of contention. In order to counter this movement. Just a few boys here. This isn't gonna go well. For that Yankee company right there, they immediately say, let's not go that far. Lose one man and this skirmish is on.
Back up. We're gonna retreat to these rocks.
And officer calls retreat already. Flag going down. Very, very small company, and we'll see if they get out of here. Flag going down again, right there in the dirt. If they can get the flag up and get behind those rocks, but they're taking a lot of shots at him right now, and here comes one solo bayonet. And nobody's at the ready to take him out, and he just starts stabbing 1, 2 down, and he'll stab again. He's gonna stab 3 and 4. He Rambos out all of them. And solo wipes an entire company and gets another one when his buddy can't make the shot. Unbelievable.
Yep.
Will he get taken down by a cannon? No, they're behind these rocks. After doing all of that, he gets smoked by a cannon. And the rest of the infantry units are back up here in the woods now. Really waiting for a Union to make a move.
Oh, perfect.
And it's really just become a dueling battery here. Union is unable to really move with any effectiveness out of their spawn. Shells continuing to come in at the same pace that both batteries are putting shells out. Union batteries doing effective work. You can see it on the ground all over the place. But because all of them are having to be focused on these guns, they are very nice shot there. They are not able to, as I said, get any fire onto CSA infantry, which would allow free movement by the Union's infantry. Union now pushing out to make something of an attempt through the pasture here. Down in front, they are going to be walking right out in front of that CSA battery. Every cannon can hit them.
Retreat our flag. Guys, sound let's move out. We're gonna go get our flag.
Whoa, you don't sound
Decent shot there by the Union battery just as we check in to see if they start to rotate guns on this infantry unit. See, they made a pretty decent hit there at the top of the hill. CSA has also pulled an infantry unit to the top of that hill, and artillery bouncing all over the battlefield right now. And cannons have found this this Union line. And they're simply there to retrieve this flag. It goes down. He doesn't realize that it went down. He doesn't know. He leaves him in the dirt. A cannon hitting somebody right there under their feet, wiping them out. And what was a successful run for a flag is rapidly turning into Black Hawk Down. As multiple boys now going down, they're going to try to retrieve the flag as a group. But CSA knows what they're doing, and they're now pouring fire just straight out into the pasture, which is only holding this team up. And the longer they're out here, the more likely that right there is going to happen. And they lose about 4 in a big cloud of pink mist. And the ones that do get stood back up, you can see they took a minute to really figure out what was going on. Another cannon round coming straight in here, almost getting super lucky. And this company really needs to decide what they're gonna do, because they certainly cannot stay here. Union battery trying to cover them. See, they're putting rounds out, but they do not realize there's a CSA company skirmished right here on this fence line, and that was the main threat.
Back up a little bit.
Try to see what the Union's up to back here, and they're solidly engaged with that southern main line here in the woods, and they are evenly well dispersed in a disciplined line. Little volley going out over here towards the barn.
Take aim.
But unfortunately for Union, they are now breaking, and CSA is allowing the point to open, actually. And
Direction to the artillery battery. Directly down.
I don't know what CSA's moves are now. They're trying to really take a position of control over the fronts of the entire battlefield. You see them both lines way out in front of the point of contention, and another line now coming out of the main farmhouse. One lone Union Yankee boy rushing the point of contention there. I don't understand. But he is gonna make it up there and crouch there. And he is determined to keep that circle from moving. Gets right down in there and decides to take a nap.
Just prepare.
The other infantry group is all the way right.
Nobody
I saw
is
that.
in the house. Battery is really starting to sing now on both sides. Union's still breaking, and they now, however, do they still have someone on? Yes, they do. And he's determined to sit there and make something happen. Union trying to move to a bit of an advantageous position to return something effective. And poor boy is going to get found out now. He climbs over the fence and he gets shot. He should have just shot somebody. He goes down way out of line. Union's braking now is slipping. And while they charged out that really small skirmished out unit, they're getting countercharged, and I don't think they even realize it right now. This is going to run right into the flank of their quite extended line and allow the other CSA team to reform and then push back in. I imagine they're going to push right back in.
Spread out on this line right here. Spread out on this line.
Oh, no, they will not. They will form skirmish and start shooting again. And we've got a bit of a dirty situation going on for the rebel boys right here in the middle of everything. They had the advantage. They quickly, however, pushed too deep into the Union. They're gonna get repushed. They do finally decide to come back in. It's a little late though now because the boys they were coming to support are already gone back at the main spawn. And this continues to be a drug out melee on the snake fence. They are getting some help here from a distance by a southern unit on the stone wall here. And that puts the Union into final push. 2 minutes on the clock. CSA holding the point of contention. Neither battery really silenced at all throughout this match. And CSA is now going to pull back and really hold that stone wall. Union battery going to start pounding that point in particular to try to suppress and dwindle what they can before the last push of the boys in blue here as they come out from around the farmstead. And here they come in, but they are very, very spaced out, and they're going to be very spaced out, pushing up on a very well fortified CSA line. So we will see if they can get a battle line formed up and really make something work. Otherwise, this looks pretty grim for the Union. And you see Union boys going down as they come across the pasture there over and over and over as they try to keep their flags up in a meaningful position. Keep boys coming Batteries finding home for both sides now, as this is about to become an overall charge for the middle. CSA is currently holding it, and Union wants it. Alright, let's pull it back up here really quick. Outcome here, pretty darn clear. CSA loving that high ground artillery position, and even though Union had full batteries going the entire match, they were unable to effectively silence the top of that Confederate hill, and that allowed those rebel guns to keep their infantry lines safe throughout the match, and they were able then to counter any maneuver by the Yankee infantry, and that allowed this one to play out exactly the way CSA wanted it to. Good job to the butternut, and I'll leave you with the map.
Whined above it from the exchanges of counter battery fire between the Confederates on Nicodemus Hill and the Union artillery stationed en masse at the Joseph Poffenberger farm just above the North Woods. But for the women and children which had briefly taken refuge in the Nicodemus farmhouse prior to the battle starting, few wished to remain to find out if an errant shell might crash towards them instead.
Alright guys, one last time, if you're still watching, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. Hopefully I'm bringing you a different perspective of the game. Maybe you are learning a thing or two. That being said, like and subscribe down below. Let me know how I'm doing in the comment section. Follow if you haven't, share if you got friends. And until next time, I'll see you on the field.